Hello everyone. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday. I know Mondays are just amazing to us all. I saw this article about Tamra, and of course I had to read it. It was on Reality Blurb, and the article is written by Lindsay. But it says, Real Housewives of Orange County star Tamra Judge explains how SUV scene was staged and why Bravo didn't like the Tres Amigas, and reveals why Simon Barney came forward with cancer diagnosis. I'm going to try to skim through, but I don't want to get anything wrong or leave anything out, so we will see. I know there was a few parts whenever they were in an SUV, and I feel like Tamra was just, I don't know if it was more like a setup or if it was, well, I guess it could have been a setup, but it's like she pretended, like one time she was in the SUV with, it was the Tres Amigas, her, Shannon, and Vicky. And she outed Kelly Dodd about what she said about Vicky, and then she was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. I didn't mean that." Like, it was bullshit. Like, she knew exactly what she was saying. It's not like she forgot who was in the car and what. It was ridiculous. She just like stirring the pot. So, sorry, Tamra, but I'm glad you and your buddy Vicky are going bye-bye. Alright, bless you. Tamra Judge is opening up about the infamous SUV scene on The Real Housewives of Orange County, in which she and her co-stars appear to be discussing the train allegations against Kelly Dodd. Okay, I guess while she was appearing on Jeff Lewis's radio show on Thursday, Tamra explained how the scene was staged before accusing Bravo of not liking the Tres Amigas, and revealing why her former husband Simon Barney waited until now to come forward with his cancer diagnosis. What? Tamra explained how the scene was staged before accusing Bravo of not liking the Tres Amigas. That makes no sense. I'm so glad these two are gone. I'm surprised Shannon is still on. They are like worse than high school. I feel so bad for their kids, the way that they act. Okay, according to Tamra, when it came to her alleged conversation with her co-stars in the SUV, there actually was no conversation. Instead, after mentioning the word train just once during a chat with Vicky, and later addressing the rumor off camera, producers sliced up comments she made during the cast interviews to create the SUV scene. All this stuff happened off camera. Normally, when that happens, they'll have us talk in our interviews and we'll explain what happened. This time, we talked in our interviews and told everybody what happened, and then they had an SUV driving off, and there's audio, Tamra alleged, adding that nobody was in that SUV. So, I guess what she's saying is, yes, she did. They did say, they were talking about the train. They did say this stuff about the train, but allegedly it was not in the SUV. They just put the audio of them saying that while the SUV was driving off. I mean, what is that saying? All it's saying is they weren't talking about it at that specific time and place. They were still talking about it at the restaurant. I find it hard to believe they didn't talk about it after the restaurant either. But anyways, they took that audio and pieced it together in a conversation that wasn't accurate, that made me look bad, she added. In watching the scene, which aired on episode 4 of season 14, Tamra and Shannon can be heard sharing details about the train rumor while an SUV is shown on screen, but the women were never actually shown inside the SUV while discussing the rumor. Shannon also blamed the scene on manipulation in a post she made last August following backlash from fans. That is so ridiculous. I feel like this is like not even, it's like not even worth. They're just crazy. They're so dramatic. Y'all still talked about it. They're just like blaming the producers of what they said. I mean, either way, it would have been shown. Either way, they were already talking about it beforehand. I swear, I'm surprised they're not trying to sue them. And I guess on Instagram, this was shown by Shannon. It's a picture of the SUV and the audio, the caption. Shannon supposedly says, "What are you doing? Why would you bring that word up?" And then her, underneath, she says, "I refused to say anything until the cameras were off and no one was mic'd. And I made sure no one had a microphone on them when we got into the car." See, exactly. She pretty much admitted that they were talking about it in the SUV anyways. They just supposedly didn't have their microphones on. So she pretty much says they were talking shit, but they didn't think they were going to be recorded. Which, they wasn't recorded then, but they were recorded during an interview, so they knew what they were saying. They're ridiculous. What I didn't know is that there was still audio in the car after our dinner. Not a hypocrite. What the heck? Y'all, I'm like baffled right now. So, how is it staged whenever it wasn't planned, it really happened? I guess they were just like mad because they were talking shit and they didn't think there was any audio or any mics in the SUV. So they thought they were like in the clear of talking shit. They're lucky they didn't find out anything worse than that, because we already know they were talking about the train anyways. As for the Tres Amigas, which Tamra said Shannon Medore created after a trip to Mexico, Bravo was reportedly not on board. Why? Because they're like the mean girls. Shannon really likes these dress-up things and names, but it was never like a gang. It was not an old lady gang where you are not allowed in. I just feel like the three of us have the longest run on the show. We have a good bond, Tamra shared. Meanwhile, Jeff, who is a close friend of Shannon's, said he didn't like the idea of the Tres Amigas because it separated the three women, including Vicky, from the rest of the cast. I understand that. I understand both sides. I understand the Tres Amigas, that it was kind of like annoying and like immature, like, but then again, the whole time it's like they've been immature. So I can see, like, I just don't understand. I feel like they're my mom's age, and I don't see my mom like putting a name on like her and her longest friend, like, that's weird. And then it does kind of leave the other ones out. I don't think they necessarily care too much about it, but I think it is not necessarily condescending, but just kind of maybe like rude. I don't know. Bravo didn't like it either, Tamra noted, stating it was for the same reasons Jeff mentioned. As Bravo took issue with the group, Tamra took issue with the new Real Housewives of Orange County stage runner who was added to production last year. which she says led to some shady editing, which showed her in a bad light. I've never experienced anything that drastic, she admitted. It got shady. I'm like, you guys, you put me in a position that I can't even explain myself because it didn't happen. They were like, we could have handled it better. That means it did happen. Although Tamra will miss spending time with her co-stars now that she's quit Real Housewives of Orange County, leaving the show has had its benefits, including her long-anticipated reunion with her oldest daughter, Sydney Barney. Yeah. She's at college. Her daughter's probably like, good, it's about time. She probably was like waiting for her mom to get off the show. She probably didn't want to have too much to do with her mom on the show because, let's face it, thank God I never had to deal with it. But, you know, those moms out there who are like, they think they're like hip and cool, you know, and they want to be like, they have teenagers, so they want to like be like their teenagers. That's really embarrassing. Like, her daughter is probably more mature than she was. She is. And it's probably really hard for her daughter to watch, especially if people were like giving her crap about it. Okay, so I guess Sydney's at college. She's at college, so I haven't seen her, but we are talking, Tamra revealed. Looking back on her decision to leave the show after being offered a 3-episode return to wrap up her storyline, Tamra said it didn't make sense to try to film season 15 after learning her ex-husband was fighting cancer. That's not a valid excuse. She's full of crap. So she's pretty much saying that there's no point of doing her last 3 episodes because her husband finally admitted that he was fighting cancer. No, her ex-husband finally admitted that he was fighting cancer. No, her and Vicky were the same way. They were like, no, if we're not going to be on the show the whole season, I don't want to be on for any seasons. That's how they are. It's like everything or nothing. Looking back on her decision, just read that. I didn't want to go back because of the Simon situation, she confirmed. He wanted to keep it a secret. He didn't want anybody to know. He wanted to be private about it. I told him you are better off telling people because in Orange County, someone's going to find out. That's why he went public, because people were finding out. Okay. Tamra then revealed that while she was offered a 3-episode return, she chose to opt out of the reduced role because she wouldn't have been able to be authentic with viewers. When are you ever authentic? They gave me the 3 episodes. I just felt weird. I'm very honest, so Okay, let me read that lie again. I'm very honest, so I'm going to go in there and say, hey, Shannon, I've been very busy lately. Sorry I can't hang out. It just didn't make any sense. If I could have went on there and said, Simon's going through cancer. My kids really need me right now. I can't be there. I can't be here. I'm not going to be going on trips. I'm not going to be going to lunch. According to Tamra, she was unable to be honest at the time. She is never honest. What the heck? I feel she uses so much. According to Tamra, she was unable to be honest at the time she was offered a return, but now says that her whole family is open to getting back in front of the cameras to share their story. Oh, what do you freaking know? How crazy. Simon would film, Sydney would film, and Sophia would film. Simon actually asked me maybe we should film something together, not necessarily on the Housewives show, but something to let everybody see that we are happy now, she stated. Following the reveal of Simon's cancer, Tamra's family, who was previously divided, has come back together in an effort to support him through his treatment. It's really brought us all together. I'm talking to Sydney, and Spencer's going to see his dad on Saturday. I talk to Simon's girlfriend and text with her every single day because she's a mess too. She is his caretaker, and I'm like, do you need food? Do you need anything? Just let me know, Tamra shared. Ryan's going over there today to take down their Christmas lights because he can't get on a ladder and take down their Christmas lights. Why you still got Christmas lights up? We are almost in March. This is the most ridiculous. I mean, it's not a waste of time. It's not ridiculous to read to you guys and let you guys know and be aware. But Tamra is a hot mess. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm so glad, like, on to the next. I am so glad she will not be returning. Her and Vicky. Bye-bye. I'm so curious, though, if, like, I don't know, like, I know, supposedly, like, I could tell her and Vicky are, like, trying to stay busy so they can, like, you know, rack up some income. But I'm so curious if they are, like, going to try to get a show. I guess we shall see.